So this is a coffee machine from Turkey, if you want to know about this. Actually, on our business, we do a lot of Land Rover Defenders and we manufacture accessories, Masai 4x4. Me and my brother, we're the founder members. Whoever comes to our place, I offer them Turkish coffee. So this Turkish coffee made on this machine. You buy this from Amazon, you can buy. This is the best one, Mehmet Efendi is the best one. So you put 3 pots of this water, this size, and then 3 spoons of this, a bit of sugar. You put onto this machine, you press the button, it gets ready. We always drink a glass of water. I put yours in here, Leonardo. And yeah, and it's gonna beep in a minute and then we will be able to drink our coffee. When you drink this coffee, obviously it's not being separated, so the sludgy bit is on the bottom, so don't drink that. You drink the top bit, you leave the sludgy bit on the bottom. Then what you do, you just put this and make a wish, think all the nice things you want to have in your life and then turn it around and just let it cool. And then we have a look at the images inside and see if we can see anything about your future or about your future. The coffee was introduced to Europe by the Turks, Ottomans. Yavuz Sultan Selim, one of the very famous sultans who take over Istanbul from our Greek friends. They still won't forgive us obviously for that. In 1480 or something, he goes to Yemen, and there is another Pasha in there, Özdemir Pasha, and he gives the Sultan this coffee, and Sultan falls in love with the coffee, and he brings back to Istanbul. Then he gives his local friends and family and some elite part of Turks, and it becomes a very common thing and becomes a very fashionable. Everybody starts drinking Turkish, well, Yemenis coffee. And then the Venetians, the people who are very good at buying and selling, they come and they discover this coffee in Istanbul and they took to Europe. So that's how the Europeans had also this coffee. But obviously they changed the coffee. It is a multi-billion pound business, coffee. It's a big industry, so it's not something that you should underestimate, but the best coffee I think is from Turkey. So that's a nice tune, isn't it?
Sounds like a washing machine.
I am ready. So if I can show this to your camera, Leonardo, look, that's how it should be, like a frothy like this. Can you see okay? Mm-hmm. Now in Turkey, if you were to go and ask the permission from the father of the girl to marry, what happens? The girl is supposed to make you coffee. And then, yeah.
The guy that just invented that rule.
No, the girl would do the coffee to the future in-laws for her, obviously. And then sometimes they do nasty things in your coffee because you're gonna be the groom. They made a coffee so that she is good at in kitchen, so she can cook coffee. Obviously, those days the coffee machine is not like this. You have to use its small pot and you have to keep stirring it. If you let it burn, and it's no good. So she has to show her skills to do the coffee. So. But when it comes to the groom's coffee, she puts all sorts of nasty things in it, like salt and excessive sugar or things like that. And then out of politeness, groom has to drink that coffee while she's giggling on the background.
Is that what? Oh,
so they get you in either way, so the ladies, I'm afraid. So be nice to them. So, okay. If it is like that, so I feel it too. If this is like this, people won't like it. So that is, if you were to go to a good coffee house And if somebody was to bring you coffee like this, if you're a customer, you say, look, I'm sorry, this is not done properly. That is the proper way of doing it. But believe me, this is done properly, but because I was pouring upside down the other way around, so I made a bit of cock up in there, but never mind. But the other one is really good. Can you see? No, no missing froth. So, Melissa, you have that one. Leonardo has that one. This cafe is very good. When I was at the university, I went to Istanbul Technical University in Turkey. It's like equivalent in England, Oxford or Cambridge. You know, it's one of our top university in Turkey. And very hard lectures back to back, and you have no time. You know, 9 till 5 every day. It's very stressful time. And I used to drink coffee. I come home, I go to bed at about 8 o'clock, get up 10:30, 11, have coffee, and then work till the morning, and then go to uni. You wouldn't be able to catch up all your projects. It was very, very demanding. So engineering is very demanding. So we had thermodynamics and all sorts of things. Difficult subjects where Einstein was talking the other day on the film. I was watching Einstein's film. So sometimes I have nightmares when I get up in the middle of the night that I fail on my exam. I didn't prepare myself even at this age. So the coffee was very good to keep me awake. That's the only thing. And it has got caffeine. It increases your alert. You become
Makes
more
you
like,
Makes you more alert.
more alert and more precise and everything. So
Okay, let's try it.
you try it. So don't
This
bring
is the
bottle.
first time. Did you add sugar?
I put a bit of sugar because otherwise it's very, very hard. I could tell you another story about coffee.
Well, that's not as bad as I thought it would be, actually. I'm not a massive coffee fan.
That's good.
We have in Turkish a saying: if you give one person a coffee or one person receives a coffee, there is 40 years of remembrance of that. You never forget that, because such a friendship thing, as if you give one coffee has got 40 years of remembrance, they say.
Okay.
So this comes from when Istanbul was managed by some commanders or whatever in the Ottoman Empire. He walks into this little coffee shop in Istanbul, Golden Horn, and he says to everybody, buy a coffee, but not that guy from Greece. I don't want him to have the coffee. He's been very rude. But the coffee man, who is the Turk, and he still gives him the coffee. And the military man says, why did you disobey my order? Oh, he says, well, that was already ordered on the system, so it's not you paid, this is paid by somebody. Anyway, so that day goes, time changes, and this young boy who was running for the cafe under the occupation of Greece and other allies, he got caught in the war, and he was sold as a slave to do work. And somebody comes to that, what do you call it, auction, and then he gives the biggest price to him, buys him off from other people, then jumps onto the horse and cart going. And then the guy stops, he says, come on, you're free now, you go wherever you want to go. He says, why are you doing this? Yeah, you remember me? I was in the coffee shop. Your military commander said no coffee to me, but you made me coffee, I never forget that. So they become a very good friends ever since. And this one coffee has got 40 years of remembrance, and a favor comes from that story. It's very interesting.